Top tier greetings of a magnified mindset. Let's get some manifestation rolling. Y'all ready to move? Because I'm ready to make it happen. Yes. First day of June. I know you guys are feeling good. Look at that beautiful bright sun. If you don't have any, I'm donating it to you right now. Take that, take that, take that, and add a smile to your face. Something beautiful that we're going to talk about today. We are going to be returning our methods to nature. Something that I love to do. And two of some of the most magnificent creatures on the earth, besides humans or orca whales. We are going to be speaking about the magnitude of the ways in which the society of some of the smallest creatures interact, the way that they are kept in order. We are talking about bees and ants. Now, I don't know if you guys have ever pondered or paid attention to bees or ants in their natural in their natural habitat, and I'm speaking of not just seeing an ant, seeing a solo ant, or seeing a bee fly by. And again, we're not talking about the bee-like qualities that we've spoken about previously, of being a pollinator, a cross-pollinator of sorts, when it comes to caring for our craft, caring for our team, and delivering that which we have as talents, gifts, and blessings to the world. So today we are speaking about the actual social interactions of bees. We are talking about the actual community relations and the ethics that go into the structure within an ant colony, right? When we speak about group consciousness, when we speak about the characteristics that go into individuals and how they express those different characteristics, those different, predispositions, and when they express those, they are doing so independently, but together, along with the group, they create a group expression. Let me break this down. One bee goes out, finds a new field full of blossoming flowers. That bee will not begin its own hive in that new grass field. That bee will take some pollen in its pollen sacs, in its back legs, and it will return to the hive with what it has found. In addition to that, it is going to remember the exact route it took to get there. Group consciousness stemming from this means that I am because we are, and we are because I am. There are no big I's and little U's. There are no sharp elbows around here. So when we take in context the life of a bee and the mindset of a bee, and then we relate that to human interactions, we must understand that every rise, every elevation, every opportunity to become greater, better, can only be magnified with the group consciousness, right? Again, if we take the example of the bee finding a brand new blossoming field of flowers, it can only fit X amount of granules, X amount of micrograms, nanograms of pollen in its pollen sac. It can't take the whole field. No matter how many days it took, the bee won't live long enough to maximize that. So what does it do? It understands that group consciousness will take the largest yield. It will gather the highest amount of benefit from its food source, right? It's amazing. It's amazing. So when we as humans find solutions or structures that will bring about sustainable change, we must understand that we have to share that, because we can only fulfill a certain amount of roles, a certain amount of tasks, not just because we are humans and limited in our abilities, but we are limited in time, 168 hours a week. You hear me constantly speaking about it. It's a very important number, very important number, because it has not changed. It has not changed the entire time that humans have been on this globe. So we must get comfortable with competing within that 168-hour week. How can we improve? How can we expand? How can we enhance the amount of good work that we can do and produce and cross-pollinate in this world? Well, we can have a group. And within that group, we can have structured roles and tasks so that each and every member can bring forth the best of the different areas, the different tactical points, and complete the goals, complete what is set out upon the agenda as the overall objectives to complete the task. Group consciousness allows individuals to do their best in their areas of expertise and still culminate into a complete victory. Now, let's get to the non-winged, amazing creatures known as ants. Have you pondered the strength of an ant? Have you seen an ant? I'm going to give you a quick synopsis. On the day of Eid, just the feasting day, right after the month of Ramadan, I was in the bathroom and I witnessed something so magnificent. There was a dead ant on the floor, and a live ant picked up this ant and was carrying it out of the bathroom and out of the window. Are you following me right now? Because this is the symbolism of No Man Left Behind. This is the symbolism of using your strength for your group. Yes, the ant was passed away. It was its time to be gone. Was he forgotten by its fellow ant? Not at all. Let's go back to some live ants. Let's assess a little bit more the strength of an ant. Now, how many times have we seen these very small insects carrying things far greater than their size? How many times have we seen something larger than an ant being broken down by multiple ants, being dissected, being broken down, being divided from a large into a small and dispersed or divided amongst the different ants to be carried back to the colony? Group consciousness, again, just like the bee, it did not start its own colony as soon as it found a large meal. This is vastly different than the way that the human mind works. The human mind is about gather, gain, stockpile, and hide. Get all that I can acquire, everything that I can stuck in my haversack, everything that I can pile in my pockets, wall up all of this wealth in my wallet, and then don't speak to anybody else. Don't treat anybody else like they have two legs and a brain like I. That is the mindset that is not rooted in group consciousness. That is a deleterious mindset, and it does not get people far. There are very few animals that does benefit well. Most of those animals are solitary animals. The ones that it does not benefit are the animals that are group animals. So we don't want to get too far out of the subject here. I don't want to go on any tangents like one of my favorite teachers, Josh Akadi, but you think of the wolf, which is a pack mindset. You think of the orca whale, which is a pod, a water pack, basically, also known as the sea wolf. But just as importantly, the insect, the bee and the ant, listen to this structured system. If a bee or an ant goes rogue, and this is by no means the backing of this to be applied in human senses, but I want you to understand the sincerity, not the severity, the sincerity of group consciousness, of that which you sign up for, right? If a bee, for some reason, or an ant, for some reason, goes against its innate ability of group consciousness, that ant or bee, meaning it goes out on a solo, gathers food, gathers goods, and eats them on its own, that ant or bee will be killed. Very simple. It has gone against the exact, precise nature it was blessed with, meaning it is a part of a whole. It is a part of a team. It was formed and fashioned in its uniqueness. Either the bee having wings and being able to pollinate, also being able to create a hive and have a hive mindset, and as the ant with its amazing strength and ability to communicate one with the other. And again, it's unified mind. That is a blessing. That is a blessing that humans can benefit from right now. And I'm specifically speaking about what we were all dealing with at this very moment with the heated racial justice, lack of justice, with the racial injustice, and the lack of prosecution upon these people who kill other humans. Killing other humans is not okay by any means. But how do we stop that? Well, one person cannot be a rogue. One person cannot go about and say, hey, I don't like how people are harming other people, so I'm going to ignore it and not be a part of that and hope that my action of not perpetuating such behavior stops it all. No. Nor does an outlash done on one set of legs is that going to change the course of a group consciousness. Because we must understand that the circumstances which we live under right now, the racist, continual injustice, these circumstances have been built since the culmination of the country. Let's not forget this. Let's not act as if the country was not built off of murder, rape, kidnapping, looting, pillaging, raping, hanging. These are serious indictments that are true. How can you battle these? Group conscious of a one-track mind. Solidarity. It is important to group together with those who are aware that it is not one voice, it is not one hand, it is not one strike. It is a collection of different minds, different capabilities, different talents, blessings, and skills that are going to allow you. They're going to allow you, your loved ones, and those who are grouped with you to make a valiant stride forward. A valiant stride forward. Not just a spark and a flash in the pan. I'm talking about change, complete change. If there is an attack on a hive by a bee, by a bear. If there's an attack by a bear on a beehive, each and every bee is going to defend the hive. There will not be any sitting back saying, hey, wait, whoa, maybe the bear's a little hungry. Maybe it has kids. Maybe it's not angry. Maybe it's not aggressive. Maybe it didn't really hit us. Maybe it didn't really crack our house. Maybe it's not really robbing us of all of our stored up food. No. Defend. Defend. Of one mind. Same with the ant colony. If you've ever seen, yes, anteaters are quite efficient, but as they're eating, they're also being attacked. And let us remember that there are multiple species of ants. There are fire ants. There's larger black army ants. All of these, you can see them as you walk about or maybe play around in your backyard with your kids. But there are certain ants whose pincers are so powerful. There are certain ants that have the ability to split other insects in half. And yet they do not go out on a rogue or sit back on their own and not defend. It is very important to have a group consciousness. It is very important to act of a one mind, even if certain talents, blessings, skill sets ask you or not ask you, but determine that you will be striking out in a different direction. That direction that you're going out in is still in a collective manner because others, let's think of a clock, are going out in their specific direction of hour. And all of the resources, all of the benefits, all of the gains, all of the elevation and manifestation, it is made to go back to the center of the group. So, a bit long-winded today, but I really believe truly and wholeheartedly in my heart that you understand why. So I want you to gather it in. I want you to understand that 2 is better than 1, and 1 is close to none. So gather up those who share the mindset of you. Gather up those who are willing to actually put in the footwork like you. Figure out what your objectives are, what the overall mission is. And then from there, stick to your group conscious. Be united. We are Legion. I can make it much more difficult, but I think with these 2 amazing animals that are so minuscule and compared to humans, can share a lot of knowledge and wisdom to us without ever speaking. Go manifest. Go be great. Go rise to your best elevation, because I can't wait to see it. Peace in power.